All right, we're watching very closely this podium in Fort Worth, Texas. Why? Because Donald Trump is going to go to that podium, make a major announcement, we're told. Now, it could be to respond to the broadside attacks, one sort of Henny Youngman liner after another on the part of Marco Rubio responding to some critical Trump tweets. Or it could have something to do with this ongoing tax situation, first raised with me by Mitt Romney, who demands that the candidate, that is Mr. Trump, release some tax returns to find out if he's as rich as he is or whether there's any secret bombshell there. John Vento is a certified public accountant, knows of this sort of stuff. John, last night Mr. Trump said, I can't do that right away. I'm in the middle of an audit, so I can't release these returns. It might be a while. I'm paraphrasing. Is that true, that when you're in the middle of an audit, it's best not to show the press documents you're later going to be showing to the IRS? Or the IRS, I assume, wouldn't take kindly to that?
Absolutely, and he's absolutely under no obligation to release his tax returns. It's actually in the Bill of Rights of the IRS code that he has a right to privacy, a right to confidentiality with his personal affairs.
But when you're a presidential candidate, there are no demands or requirements that they release returns. Many of them do, not all of them, to your point, but the pressure is on him because obviously it's been fairly routine for major candidates to do that, right?
Right. Well, it may be routine, but he's definitely not obligated to do so. So, again, if I was representing Donald Trump, my advice to him would be do not give up your tax returns to anybody. It's basically 101 about representation in front of the government. Last thing you want to do is, when you're being investigated by the IRS or any agency for that matter, is to speak about your personal affairs and disclose them to the public. Presidential candidate or not, that's the advice I would give Donald Trump, and I hope he sticks to that throughout.
That's very interesting, John. You know, another thing that comes up, people mistake this, that when you reveal a return that it's going to reveal your worth. It will reveal income you've made, but
right.
it's not going to reveal your worth.
When I heard that from Romney, I couldn't stop laughing inside. As a financial guy, your tax return does not reveal anything about your net worth. You could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and your income tax return just represents how much income did you earn in that particular year. It has nothing to do with your net worth. So where that was coming from, I have no idea. And I think the bigger question here, Neil, is where did Romney get the information that he's talking about? Where is he coming up with these ideas that Donald Trump did this or Donald Trump did that? Donald Trump has a right to privacy here, and my question is, did Romney break the law? I think there should be an investigation here, not of Trump, but of Romney. Where did he get that information? If Trump did not disclose his tax returns to anybody, where does Romney get the nerve to come up with what Trump has and doesn't have?
Yeah, I talked to some lawyers on that subject too, John, and one person's definition of explosive could be another lawyer's definition of, hey, hello, lawsuit. But one of the things that I think people are trying to get to the bottom of is Trump as rich as he says he is, or for that matter, is he as generous with charities as he says he is? I guess some of that would come across, the latter on a tax return. But I am wondering about the other issue that I think Romney was intimating, and that is that he pays very little in taxes. Well, again, what wouldn't the news be there when Mr. Trump has repeatedly says he tries, his goal is to pay the least he can in taxes?
Right. As Americans, we have a right to pay the least amount of tax possible within the parameters of the law. So Donald Trump is following his right as a taxpayer, as a U.S. citizen, to basically pay as little tax as the law requires. As long as he's following the law, it doesn't matter if he's paying zero income tax. That's the bottom line when it comes to taxes.